Welcome back to the LCS Proving Grounds presented by Horizon. It is one apiece, Razzleplasm, just how we like it here, as Cloud9 have struck back, beating Noorg in game number 2. And Noorg have indeed chosen blue side for our third game here. So we are going to see some differences here in the drafts.
That one's interesting because echoing the desk, I really love them on red side. I think red side really helped them out. I think the only thing I would see changes are, if you go for a Hecarim, if you think the Hecarim is really valuable, then great, you get your first touch on that. But also if you go to 4-5 and you have like flex picks that you're still confident in, then you can do that there as well. I just think that red side is where they want to be, but we'll see. We'll see what the conversation has been from end game till now from Noorg to see what the changes they'll be making.
Yeah, interesting actually that both teams have done the same thing on blue side after losing, is that kind of take one of the champions away that was most irritating in the last game. So they actually banned Tristana. Akali continues to get banned here for Cloud9 as Noorg using some of that blue side liberty, banning away the Scion.
That's the one thing I forget about actually. Blue side has so much liberty to just do what the hell you want with the bans. Like when you're on red side, it feels like you're chained to a few things.
Wait, this
but in this case,
ban? What is going on?
Yeah, get the Scion out of the way.
All right, so Cloud9 Academy apparently don't mind some of the other picks they had banned on blue side last time around. Thresh is a very surprising ban here.
Thresh really means that they're looking for something particular, like a mage support, something like that is possible. Or maybe if Noorg is the type of team to go Jinx. Remember, Jinx has been a predominant ban here. Then you can just take away the Thresh and just bet that they won't go Tahm Kench with Jinx. Like, there are a few teams that will do that. I don't think Noorg is a Tahm Kench-like team. I mean, they have played it in the past. They have played Senna Tahm Kench, so it's not as if it's like something that they can't do. They're definitely willing to do it if they get the chance. But it's one of those things where I think Big is a fantastic engager. And so you want to utilize that strength that he has.
Yeah, Lilia banned again, and Seraphine banned once more, so those bans at least stay consistent for the two teams. That does mean Hecarim is the jungle of choice for both sides here on blue.
There we go.
So expecting Udyr here for sure, but we'll see if they do want to change it up at all. And this does leave Jinx open, I guess, if that was something they wanted to consider. I agree that I don't know if Noorg want to be going for Tahm here. I think King and Isles are a little bit too good against Tahm Kench. I know Isles plays Karma into it pretty commonly, so I think they'll have enough time to abuse it. This does also leave open the Orianna, which is going to be picked up here for copy.
Expect an early Victor, but Victor and Hecarim really don't mesh as champions, as Hecarim wants to just dive straight in and would love dive buddies or something to accelerate that. That's why Hecarim and Orianna are fantastic. So it was a great takeaway from Cloud9 to just take it, just to strip it away. But Firefire is a very flexible player, so I think he has quite a bit in his champion pool. Zoe is something that he excelled at last game, even with an L. But let's see how it goes, what the takeaway seems to be.
Yeah, Syndra's fine here if he wants it. It's kind of a more standard matchup. We've seen his set, probably fine here if he wants to do something different other than just like push and pull the lane. Rel though is going to be the pickup. Love that takeaway there, comboing with the Hecarim. Cloud9 knew they could get Udyr late, so they take it here. And Xayah, the AD of choice here for value. So definitely teams deciding to like battle more in the bottom lane here, not taking something super scaling like Jinx or Senna.
Yeah, for me, this is a lot of information. Because the fact that Noorg was willing to go support here when there are no support bans. Like, you can say Thresh is the support ban, but we haven't really seen Thresh at all in this series. And you still have a wealth of engaged supports that you can still go. Remember, Cloud9 Academy is still going for that as well. So Noorg should ban supports here. But they held mid lane, which means if Noorg is trying to go blue side for the next few games or however long we go in the series, then yeah, Cloud9 can go 2-pick mid and just start banning mid laners because Firefire is confident enough in his pool to then like not even answer immediately. So I think that's a really good piece of information that Cloud9 got here.
Well, Rise banned away is nice because it hits both Firefire and Viper. Decent into Ori if Firefire wants it. Of course, Viper can abuse certain melee champions, which we've seen already from him in this tournament. Gragas being banned, I think Noorg is going to go ahead and line up the Ornn again. There's the Gnar ban from Cloud9 Academy, so just protecting some of the tanks that Darshan likely wants to play here because Gnar is just so irritating.
Yeah, and remember, that's just a good ban that's flex. I actually think that Gragas is a great matchup versus Rel, so as a support pick. Isles has played that one, before too. So yeah, take it away from Darshan and Isles.
And we'll see if maybe Ali comes as a ban here. We've seen that from Big, so maybe Ours can play the other side of the matchup. But I'm expecting on here, it is Malphite instead, which is similar style champion, I guess. But we'll see what Darshan wants to do, because I imagine they are going to take the Ali here, which they will.
Yeah.
So no Org. First time they've had to blind their last 2 picks of the draft here, now on blue for the first time this series.
This is interesting. So we've talked about Darshan's versatility. Now he doesn't have his Scion, Malphite, Gragas. And throughout the tournament, he's picked the Tryndamere in a good matchup. I remember that one. He's a great Tryndamere. That one was a tough early game for him, though. Vayne, he's picked that as well. He's picked like strong side matchups throughout. Cloud9, this is a great opportunity for them to be flexible. They are now seeing a potential blind pick Jace top. Let's see what the pick is here, because it could also be for Fire.
Yeah, they're going to know. Viper does like to blind pick this in opportunities where he does have to blind, and that's one of the things that has been good about Nilwerg. One of the reasons their red side is so good is their flex.
Yeah.
Ooh, Aurelia would be nice.
I would love an Aurelia. If that is actually Jace top lane, Darshan is a damn good Aurelia. And you know what? Just please lock it in. I know it's one of those things where it comes to his mind. Let's see what it is. Like, also GP would be good here, but I think it's a juicy one. It's a juicy Aurelia game.
I don't know if you want something like on here, which again has been banned the last 2 games.
Camille
Ooh, Camille also good. All right, that'll do.
It's tough early on, but if you have the jungle matchup, Udyr is going to be there to help you out. So like I think there we go. It's going to be the carry game from Darshan, and I'm expecting that to be Surenfire playing around him.
Yeah, nice pivot here from Cloud9. Good to see that they are also willing to kind of use counterpick power, right, and use Darshan's versatility here. They're expecting Viper to pick something aggressive, but they feel like they can find a window in the 2v2. So we'll see if that happens here, especially since the junglers have swapped sides as well. In fact, a lot of swapped matchups here. I mean, Silas for the first time for Fire, even though Copies never got Ori, swapped the support matchup, swapping sides of the jungle matchup. There's a lot of little differences here as the series has worn on.
Yeah, there is. And also, like, it just goes to show that these teams can play through a lot of different win conditions. There are a few teams throughout the tournament that we've seen that are just great team fight teams, right? Reminds me of TSM Academy. Like, great, they'll play team fight, and you go into the series, and that's what you're expecting. Now, with both of these teams, they're flexible enough to do both, to play through sides and through team fight. In this case, this is going to be a good example for Cloud9, that you now have a Camille that will try and fight for side lane priority, that will have an Udyr in her back pocket. So I'm expecting this one to be C9 trying to dominate through side lanes. Also, Camille is fantastic in you know, punishing what would you'd assume to be a safe Xayah pick. Xayah's ultimate, flash all these things, keep her safe, especially when she sees what she's going up against in like an Udyr. But when you go up against the Camille, keep her in the ultimate. Alistar follows up, Kai'Sa as well. It's a great team fight comp, and I haven't even mentioned the Orianna. So like, this is gonna be tough for Xayah for her to team fight here.
Yeah, Orianna's kind of the glue that holds the rest of this together. I am curious to see what Ander does on Hecarim, especially at this kind of team, because Viper is on like not a tank, right? Where we've seen Surenfire and Darshan combine very effectively for a lot of their engage in frontline, and is going to have a bit more of a solo time doing it, although I imagine Big and Fire will likely be in the mix as well. Level 1, it does seem like both teams are happy to just observe the river, but maybe Ander's going to sneak in for a late ward here. We'll have to see.
This is going to be an interesting early game. It seems like Udyr is going to start topside, and how I would imagine this lane to go, Camille is just going to let the wave push in on her. She's completely fine just looking to set up for Surenfire's gank. The fact that Surenfire is starting topside going to bot, completely fine. Darshan, in a lot of these games, especially in his Scion games, hasn't been putting himself in such a bad position that he's diveable from Anda and Viper alone. So now it makes it easier. So when Udyr's coming back up to the top lane, he can start with a gank, then path back down, and you're playing for a dragon stacking win con, I think, if you're Cloud9.
Well, Anda on the red buff gets a bit of help, I believe. And now going to go ahead and finish full clearing his bottom side of the map. It's likely the same story here for Surenfire. As you can see, junglers look to be taking similar paths once again.
Yeah.
Bottom side will be fun to track, though. We have seen King and Isles consistently get aggressive early on and hit level 2 first, which has given them some, 2v2 leads, but jumping in there, getting pulled is big. But King's going to eat the wrong end of that trade.
Yeah, I guess Big is completely happy with it just because he has Aftershock, so the returning damage is just not going to be enough to punch through the added resistances. So you're right, King will still have push, still have prio on this one, but he did take some hurt. The way that Hecarim is going to be pathing this game, he has to help the Jace. If you're blind picking Jace into a tougher jungle matchup in the Udyr, you are so afraid of a Camille hookshot flash gank on towards the Jace, and the way Camille trying to freeze lane with jungle and back pocket. Like, it is a very hard Jace game here. So you're expecting Anda to be catering a lot of his time top lane and waiting for Surenfire to come.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting like balance, right? Because both junglers need to be there when they need to be there,
yeah,
but maybe don't need to be there when they don't. So it's like, if you're there at a bad time, right, where like you're just wasting your time because the wave's in the wrong spot, or there's nothing set up, or you're covering for a jungler that just isn't there, you're obviously going to get out-farmed a little bit, and both these junglers do want to farm a lot as well. So this is one of the things that I know you credited Darshan for a lot, where he's just a very good leader at knowing what he wants, especially when he's playing strong side, which he is, of course, this game, or stronger side at least than we've seen in the last 2 games.
Yeah, and let's take a look at this one. A lot of damage coming across. Heal being taken from King. TP is there. This is double TP from Copy and Darshan if they want to look for this.
Surenfire going to get spotted. He's just going to have to run away. Channeling the recall instead. I think just, again, making sure that King can push this lane in okay. In fact, Isles has already gone back, so there's no dive happening here. But still good from Surenfire. He's pathing that way anyway. Might as well make sure you have a little bit of time invested to make sure your AD can get back safely.
Yeah, and the point that you made about, like, you have to value jungle efficiency on clear. When the jungler is coming and pathing towards top side, and Hecarim's finishing up his Scuttle Crab, the wave has to have been crashed from Vipers, so it's pushing back towards him, then he's safe. Like, those type of things that I think is really important. And if it's, if he's finding difficulty, then Hecarim has to stay a little while longer. Both teams are doing a great job around that. So, farm's not being perturbed here. This is a really nice game for a Hecarim that doesn't have to deal with any of the 2v2 shenanigans that a Udyr tends to offer. So this is, pretty rough from the Udyr, but similarly to what we're all used to with Olaf games, he's clearing completely fine. And he's going to end his path 5 minutes bot lane on Dragon. So waves pushing out. I think this is a really good Dragon timer here for Cloud9.
Yeah, good vision here for Noog of note in the top side. Spotted shown on both his Krogs and then the Raptors after. So he's going to know that this is the play that's happening. That means top lane is now they're isolated for a little bit longer. Neither of them have TP'd back yet either, for what it's worth. But Darshan has... Actually, they have the same amount of sustain, so never mind.
One thing to be concerned about is that Cloud Dragon is really hard to take. I hate... Oh! Let's see. All right, turns into nothing. Wondering if he was in range of a flash with Nimbus Cloak Bear Slap on Firefire. He's really low right now. He's not in a good position to support a contest on this Dragon. So the point I was making is one thing I really hate about Ocean and Dragon, in Cloud Dragon, they do a lot. Oh man, this is getting a little tumultuous.
How close to 6 is Copy? That's the real question here. 1 minion? No, more than 1, unfortunately. So didn't have the opportunity to find the shockwaves. Looks like the XP wasn't quite there for either mid laner.
Yeah.
But Dragon is going to go over. So Cloud9 at the end of the day get what they wanted here.
Yep. This was the entire plan. This is something that's very easy to pre-plan before a game, and they did it again. I think this is just a credit to the coaching staff of the team, and also just whole team as a squad to make it happen. And also, Surenfire was never going to be able to fight for it with how low his HP was, and he was trying to fight for the wave to crash too. Needed help from both Big and Anda to do it. So that's completely fine to give away the first Dragon. So there we go. The only point that I was making is if you're trying to do Dragon solo, Ocean Dragon, really hard to do solo because it slows you. And so if you're ever caught in doing it, caught your pants down, yeah, easy for them to engage on you. Cloud Dragon just hurts. There's rapid fire damage on you. So, like, that one is definitely difficult, but he's on Udyr. He's got the support from bot lane. Very easy take.
Yep, nicely done there for C9. It does mean that Darshan left on the wrong side here, but there's a hook shot in. Oh, just barely missing, but there's the ultimatum. Surenfire running in. Viper trapped in the cage. Gonna get stunned up here. Phoenix stands up. Tiger stands happening as well. And Darshan getting low, but not low enough. It's first blood for Surenfire.
Man, once again, this time he was really close to getting the kill. In his Akali game, he got first blood when he was getting ganked. At least this time, it's going to be really hard to play this game. Before, on the Akali, you have a whole slew of ways to teamfight. But on a Jace, that setup is just going to happen on repeat once Camille has cooldown on her ultimate. So this one didn't even need the stun from the hook shot. was just able to get into position. Wave pushing away from Jace, so he's going to lose that wave too. He just wanted to get something out of it. Threw in as much damage. I think he played that out perfectly, but he's just in the bad position.
Yep, Firefire also low as well. Copy ulted him by the looks of things. In fact, it's been a trade of ultis there in mid. So definitely some scrapping to get the push happening faster and a bit of harassment on the enemy mage. Looks for the E, doesn't grab it. Here's Schönfire. Gonna slow him down. Ooh, didn't have the W cooldown, but here's Schön coming in. He's got plenty of speed as Copy's gonna take down Firefire.
Can't play like that. Can't play like that, especially when you don't see where Udir's at. Now you're gonna lose this huge minion wave. He's alone. He's trying his hardest to fight this one back.
Ooh, okay. Ball ran off. Now Schönfire's going to die. Good roam down for Viper, actually. Copy barely going to miss that kill. And now if he gets punished, it's going to feel so bad. But Viper, no follow-up. Copy just barely going to get away.
Really close, and that was a good time roam from Viper. I was a little concerned. Ando was playing that tight road style. He was like, you know what? You can't push this wave in. I can 2v1 you if I really wanted to. Great job there on the back half of that fight.
All right, well, Firefire returns once again. Didn't get solo killed this time, but Copy's Orianna apparently a pretty big nuisance for them. We'll see how Firefire kind of continues through this matchup as Copy's Ori is still on point, despite getting banned in the first 2 games.
Yeah.
It is kind of fun to watch this top side, though. I think the back and forth in that matchup is really exciting, especially given that Darshan does already have that kill. And again, like, Viper has to push here. Like, Jace doesn't have any other way to play the lane. So it'd be interesting to see if Ando makes any adjustments here. And again, finds that right timing, right? Because you do want to be there when the Udyr is there, but otherwise you just want to be farming.
I didn't even notice the fact that he was able to, because he got the kill under Schönfire, he has red buff now in top lane.
Ooh.
So it makes it even harder for Darshan to lane into that one. So, yep, added regen. The burn damage on red buff, definitely going to be helping out Viper after the early game. Oh, you ain't going back. Where are you going?
It's so annoying.
Where are you?
He's going to have his recall cancelled and starting up the Rift Herald. This time, there's a bit more pressure that could come. Schönfire's going to go and check it, knows that Copy's got the move first. And they're going to back away.
Yeah, but
this is mine now.
This is value coming in. Now, it seems like it's going to be too late from NoOrg. They want to take this fight, so Anda's going to try and come in, at least try and take the fight.
Oh, didn't get it yet. What a steal of the ulti. Copy can ult himself. There's the pulverize coming in. Darshan going to take out Firefire. Copy is going to die as a result. And now Schön a little too low. Just barely misses the trade kill onto Anda. And now going to run away. The heal from King's going to save him, but King, I'm not sure what he can do there as Darshan bounces back in. Big dead there with a crash down. He's going to try and get the stun and lands it. Now the big damage pulls in. The Magnet Storm finally hit. And King and Isles get pulled in. Isles surely is going to die here as King will be the only one left alive for Cloud9.
Cloud9 was overconfident. They couldn't even get that Rift Herald. Rift Herald was still there, so it ended up timing out. That was NoOrg recognizing, yeah, sure, you're pushing us off this objective, but we have our AD carry coming in late and Rel coming a little later, so the longer this fight goes, the better. So Viper actually put in a lot, the flash to get the kill on towards Copy, and then chase down Schönfire. It was the decision from Cloud9, now that they had King, to elongate this fight was the bad decision. Big finally comes through. And once they're able to finish off Darshan, layers in the ultimate from Rel. Thought this was a really good fight from Big.
He's level 5 and it started too. He got 6 off the first kill. That feels so bad if you're Cloud9, but NoOrg coming up with the goods. This Big finds the timing. And they'll take the gold lead here as well. Just under 1,000. Schönfire is looking to knock down the second dragon nice and swiftly. So Anders on the wrong side to contest this. They're not going to be getting it.
Yeah, so the dragon stack is going to be there. I'm interested to see what the soul is going to be. Infernal.
Infernal.
Here we go. A really valuable one for both teams, but it's going to be Cloud9 that's fighting for that closer win condition now that they have 2 dragons underneath them. Oh, this is a really... Yeah, I don't know about that one.
So good. Oh, just barely missing. Now Anders here for the punish. No flash, beats himself up. Dive under Firefire. Look at in there. Very nice combination from NoOrg as Firefire gets some revenge.
Yeah, you hate to see that one because that would have been Firefire, if not dying, being incredibly low and not being able to follow up on Anda in the backside. But he misses his Orianna ulti and so ends up dying there. It's pretty rough.
Getting creative. Firefire though in a 1v3, Schönfire diving in, finds a slap, combos there. Damage is good. The All-Star ulti stolen actually keeps him alive forever. And now King's diving for the kill. He's not going to get it. 5 fire, baby. He's got the outplayers and it takes down Shern. And Cloud9 is getting a little desperate here in mid lane.
5 fire is styling here. In both times, people would think that was illegal. But no, he's read that book. He's read the book of the law. Is able to come out of both situations alive. That Alistar ultimate had insane value from 5 fire.
I said it before. You know, in the first time when Copy was the one on the Silas and Big kept ganking me, it just didn't do anything.
Yeah.
When you have the hijack available for the Ali ulti. That's what just, again, 5 fire played this so well.
Remember, looking at this, I also thought that this was just too much from 5 fire, but keeps alive because of the Alistar ultimate. In fact, King thought this surely is enough damage. Didn't have much mana on the back end of that. But it's crazy, right? 2 separate instances where Cloud9 thinks that they can get the kill on the 5 fire, and at the back end, 5 fire comes up laughing. 2-2-2 right now. He's definitely feeling good, closer and closer to his mythic.
It's funny too, because it's one of those things where in hindsight, might actually have been better if Isles just didn't walk into mid lane. Yeah. I think you're more likely to get the kill if Alistar ulti isn't available to be stolen. But again, that's such a hard thing to see in game. So can't blame him there, but 5 fire is coming up with the goods there, finding the outplay. Still behind woefully in CS in lane, but more than making up for that gold deficit with 2 kills and 2 assists.
It's the reactions that I really enjoyed there from 5 fire. Immediately recognizing the right ultimate to take. Also knowing that there's no way that King can get the kill, so he's ending up challenging them during that dive. So it's nice to see overall. And also, it's just the support from NoOrg when he's doing things like these. I remember when he was on EG Academy, and he was playing equally as aggressive, but they may have not been on the same page, so there'd be times where he'd just die and lane due to it. This time, he's getting the support, and now they are in the lead, surely. 25k to 22. They're looking for a dive up here top lane.
Yeah, tower's gonna fall here. Viper already threatening Darshan. Anders in there. My goodness, the fastest second we've ever seen. Darshan forced to ulti. Onslaught of Shadows. Viper dunks him down, and Ander grabs the kill.
The one thing I loved about that, 5 fire was about to join. But he was like, nah, I'm going straight back mid. You guys got that. He knew that that kill was gonna go down on Darshan, so that's tower down, end a kill. Pretty long death timers too, so this is getting better and better for NoOrg.
And this is, you know, the kind of early game that is par for the course of the games that NoOrg have won against everyone, Cloud9 Academy included, just in this series. You know, 4,000 gold ahead at 15 minutes in. Eclipse finish now for Viper, like looking to get aggressive. These are the kind of advantages that they are very good at converting.
Yeah, so now it's on Cloud9 that need to be getting creative, right? We were talking about how Darshan can play, so wait a minute. King!
Look, Galeforce, you're just dead. You might be dead 1v1. Anders here, gonna not live. Ooh, don't sit alive, it's fine. 6 HP, don't worry about it.
That's wild. I for sure thought he was dead. In fact, Anders not gonna let him go.
He just needs to smite him, maybe. Gonna dodge a W, keeps going, no more speed, so has to run away. King, I'm sorry for proclaiming your death too early. You did live. Credit to single-digit HP for keeping him alive. Problems, though, are not stopping. King has to base. Now Copy, Isles, Shern have to reinforce mid here, but the wave is gone, so no push here. But 35 seconds till the next dragon, and I don't know if Cloud9 are going to find a way towards it.
Yeah, definitely not. Because even though they didn't get the big advantage of getting the kill on King, you certainly get everything around him. Turret down, dragon's coming up in 20 seconds, the vision's already there for you, you know, as NoOrg. Cloud9 might just give this one away. I think it's the best thing that they can do. They already have the first 2 dragons. No reason fighting for this one. But it's getting further and further away from them.
Yeah, we'll see. Cloud9, I think they're just going to give this one up, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Triforce is done for Darshan, so slowly becoming more of a side lane threat. Unfortunately for him, his side lane opponent is like way accelerated in this game, so going to be a bit before he can really contest Jace 1v1, and it's probably not going to be a 1v1 if we're being completely honest.
Yeah, that's the issue.
Now finished up for Viper.
Yeah, that's the big problem here, is that later on as the game goes on, when Muramana is completed, when it's fully a fully stacked mana mune, Darshan, I think, just needs help. And if help is to come in the shape of King or Shernfire or even Copy, then NoOrg is for sure going to be in position for the trade. Is it going to be a Baron? Is it going to be you know, 3rd, 4th dragon, depending on the position? So I think the split push win con that I was imagining is just not there for Cloud9. They have to team fight, and I think they still have good combos, like Camille, Orianna ulti, all these things. It just requires Orianna to stay in the game, get some more farm underneath, or put her in the side lane, I think is what's going to get it done.
Yeah, right now just 1v1ing 5fire in the side lane. Again, more than fine on farm. Been really good in the 1v1 matchup. It's just 5fire's activity, whether he's leaving his lane or people are coming to his lane, has gotten him all this gold and this bounty that he's currently wearing. As King also needs to finish up whatever CS he can find. We already have Gale Force done for value, Kraken Slayer done for the side of King as well, but value with those kills and assists. And again, the general gold lead that NoOrg still have, everyone's just a bit more accelerated. Like, this is not an insignificant lead at all. This is what, 5K
man.
at 18 minutes. As Schoenfire's just getting plowed by Viper's Jace.
Yeah, he stole the red too.
Feels bad.
Good old shock blast to take the red. Yep.
Smite blast.
You're going to be able to take mid lane outer turret too, so this is just going to be a slow bleed. At some point, Cloud9 are going to have to draw the line in the sand, but oh no.
Oh, that blast cone was an absolute hero.
I remember which year that one came in, but that's the patch you're looking at lovingly if you are a Schoenfire.
All right, that does mean NoOrg again. Pushing into the enemy jungle, putting all that vision down. I mean, it's hard enough to win a game when you have no space, right? There's no towers taken yet for Cloud9 Academy. Darkon's like forever away from pushing down a side lane with how long top lane is. But like, Jace wants to be, you know, pushing into you, poking you under the tower, and he just has all the ability to do that right now.
Exactly, and I think this is what's the most frustrating here for Cloud9 is that just keep Sylas and Jace on side lanes. Orianna's not going to push out. Same thing's not going to happen for Camille. And any side of the map that Anda's in is the lane that can just straight up kill that side laner, and either Darshan and Copy. So it's so hard to get vision for them. It's so hard to fight around them. And so it's like really the only times that you can fight as a team or get vision in your own jungle is when you are confident enough in a full 4v5, or a 4v4 or a 5v5, that is. So I want to see when that moment comes through from Cloud9.
All right, well, it's been a bit patient for NoOrg now. It's 2 minutes, 20 seconds until the next dragon is up. But again, no rushing here.
Yeah.
For NoOrg. No need to accelerate the game too rapidly. Things are going just swimmingly right now with Cloud9 being contained to their tier 2 turrets for the most part. Viper and Shown once again doing battle. Darshan here, and they're joining 5fire also in the mix. And now Big C first, that attack repel is going to be real nice. The Everfrost is going to catch him, and 5fire finds it there as Isles is going to find some counterplay onto Anda. Does get the shutdown. Shockwave finds 2. Big the target perhaps, but again, no follow-up there for Cloud9.
All of this happening while value is not a part of the fight. So it's one of the best things you can get if you're Cloud9 is just that 1-for-1. It's rough to see, but still nice to see that Cloud9 is still willing to pull the trigger to get anything back in favor of them. So, oh no.
Oh, caught by Everfrost, slowed by Q, knocked away by a headbutt, and the ball's there, so Isles will be safe to clear that ward. Still NoOrg, demonstrating just how much vision they have pressed up into Cloud9's territory.
Yeah, and it's slowly going to mean an experience advantage for Hecarim. You know, once he's able to start nabbing these jungle camps. And yeah, just wait for item completions. This is just an item, this is an Essence Reaver for the Xayah as we go into this replay. Seemed like it was a 1v2, but Schoenfire was really low off of that. Yeah, this is incredibly low. And so, in the end, yeah, Anda gets caught, is able to get taken down here. But I think the big lesson after all of this is that Viper can 1v2 your top lane and jungle. That the next time that ends up happening, if he's in the bot side of the map or the top side of the map, that it's really difficult for Schoenfire to take that fight. We've said that before. But later on in the game, it's going to amount to larger objectives. So Dragon's going to be coming up in 30 seconds time, and still don't think C9 want to fight for this.
Yeah, C9's still even clearing vision around the Baron as well, making sure that that doesn't kind of slip away without them knowing about it at least. But again, NoOrg, all that vision that they've pushed into the enemy jungle. Makes it easy to walk into the river here, because again, Cloud9 don't really want to fight you anyway. And by the looks of this positioning, especially with Copy having no TP towards the top side, Cloud9 are going to be giving up this second dragon as well. Yeah,
and as I was saying before we got into the replay, is that the items are coming through from NoOrg. They're getting more confident on fighting because they're hitting their spikes. So Essence Reaver, as I said, from value. And then you're going to the Force of Nature of Anda. We're getting closer to the Muramana there from Viper. So once you start being hitting these spikes, you're like, guys, we are at the window that means just full throttle. If we see a fight window, we should go for it as a squad. Take a look at this. This is actually Orianna and Udyr all the way up top side, so completely conceding this side of the map.
Yeah, Darshan was in a spot of bother for a moment with 4 people near his tower, but instead Noog rotates to mid lane to take that down because King doesn't have nearly enough time to shoot out all those minions before the tower falls. So really good use of rotations there for Noog.
King lost half his HP up 1 shock blast. At least we now know how much damage he's doing.
Yeah, that's without Eclipse triggering too, right? Because it's still off cooldown for Viper, so just the poke is enough for this very fragile Kai'Sa right now.
Yeah. I'm afraid. Pastry, I'm afraid.
You should be. You should be for Cloud9. Noog are in a commanding position here to take the series lead here as it stands right now. 6,000 gold ahead. Have stopped any Dragon Snowball that could have happened. Now the game is going to go very late if we're going to get anywhere near a soul.
Yeah. I think it's another Baron type game. Even though, yeah, as the game slowly goes on, Noorg will start stacking Infernals. It's just the fact that their composition's going to spike before Soul is going to be a threat. So I do think it's going to be about Noorg getting on top of Baron. And they have had so much control in the enemy red side jungle that they can just go straight back to it. And so that's going to be Chem Tank there from Big. He is just that rich. And yeah, it's going to be a completed Muramana now. Oh, yeah, he's actually gotten his third item completed too. That's a Serpent Fang being finished off by Viper.
Yeah, actually just continuing to find gold after gold in the side lanes here. He's like 75 CS ahead of Darshan.
Yeah.
Just an idea of how much room and how much advantage he's been able to build, plus the kills and assists he already has. He's been involved in 7 of the 10 kills that Noog have gotten this game. It is just Cloud9 having to sit and wait for some sort of opportunity because not being given much so far in this game. Again, still no towers either, so it's like just one of those games that is miserable to play. Like, you can't go side lane.
Yeah.
Because you can't win.
Oh, here we go.
You need to group for your team to do stuff, but it's too hard.
Here's
can't
the play.
Camille. Yeah, they're going to TP up here, Copy and Shern trying to make it happen, but Viper at least going to use that TP pretty early, so C9 should be able to get out of there.
Yeah, I mean, this is really smart. And that's something that has to come from pre-planning at least, where you recognize that, hey, I'm getting walked up by on the Orianna. She has someone there.
Big. Good target. Magnustorm started. King, I think, already flashed. He did indeed. Now the damage coming in, but Copy going to try and save him. But now the damage is enough. Schoenfire is able to take down Big finally, but King is too low to maybe rejoin. And Darshan is getting knocked around despite ulting into the team fight. Maybe he'll advise his value. He's going to take him out. And now Schoenfire is going to fall as well. They thought they had a pick, but Cloud9 are going to trade 1 for 2 against Noog.
That's a bit demoralizing, because that looked good from Cloud9. The engage was right there before some of the members from Noorg could even really join. But they are just too far ahead now. Goal is only getting larger, and that's going to be a Baron now for Noorg.
Yeah, unfortunately, Schoenfire dying means the Baron is very easy and to massively miss that smite, but it doesn't matter. No one's out of contest anyway, Raz, so watch this one again. King's like, yeah, I see this guy, level 9 rel. I'll take him out.
They got to pick on Big. And, this was way before Silas was even able to join. Great shock blast from Viper there. So I was pretty confident, that they would at least be able to get something out of it. But it just didn't happen. It just stopped at the support pick. And so Noorg, I think they're playing really well when they have control topside. The teleport was one thing, and then when the fight was there, I mean, Silas and Jace were going to be there in 5 seconds. So it's very hard from Cloud9 to find a pick. No one is isolated on the side of Noorg.
Yeah, we're also going to need to see just more grievous wins from Cloud9 at some point. Firefly keeps getting away with it.
Yeah.
Stealing the Alistar ulti, hitting W, going back to full health. He was, actually quite low in that replay. I was trying to figure out why Cloud9 didn't kill the target they had, because Darshan and Shen were kind of peeling to maybe separate the backline from the front line, and Firefly was just in there with the Ali ulti, popped W once, and never dying. His King is gonna die in 2 shots at this point. It's getting close to a 1-shot there with the shock blast. Darshan gonna try and make the play. Copy with the ulti lined up, but a Magnet Storm from Big is gonna just clean house. 2 quick kills out of Noorg there as they're looking to barrel down the Nexus.
It's just a straight destruction from the side of Noorg. They got that one team fight and they never looked back. They can get an inhibitor here. 28-second death timer on Darshan and Schoenfire. They could go for more. Like you said, look for straight for Nexus. We need a hero on the side of C9 to stop this.
Yeah, they're going to make the play here. It's 20 seconds still for Darshan, 15 on Shern. First Nexus Tower is going to die, and Cloud9, no real defense here. Down 9,000 gold in a 3v5. With the Baron buff still up for a minute and 10 seconds. Isles will start it off. There's the shockwave. It's very nice onto 2, but it just doesn't matter. Viper rips through Copy. King is going to die. 3 quick ones for Viper, as Noog will flip the script on the series and go up 2-1.
And they are now on match point. That is the point that you are shaking if you're a Cloud9 fan. If you're looking at this series, Noorg just need one more to take that championship, notch it in for an amateur team. I think this is insane to see. It's the redemption arc from the players like Viper. Viper had an insane game, I thought. So great job, and now we look to the next one.
Yeah, maybe started to figure out why they like blue side so much, huh? Because Viper just happily blind picks Jace in phase 2, and everything seems pretty good from there. You know what? Noog, they've dug deep and they've ground out a second win. But when we come back, our analysts are going to be breaking down just how they did it.
Can't stop, won't stop till we on top. Quit, I think not. Coming hot for the #1 spot, yeah. No key, got the game on lock, ayy. Big threes when I take my shot, ayy. On the rise and we ain't gon' drop. On the grind, it's our time, just watch. If you want it, you can get it. Life gets hard, but don't you let it get you down. Go get the crown because our time is now. Ayy, we gotta get it. Gotta get up, gotta go, we gotta get it. Ayy, they won't forget us. Made it happen and we all became legends. We gotta get it, gotta get it, gotta get it. We gotta get it, gotta get it, gotta get it. We gotta get it, gotta get it, gotta get it. We gotta get it. We can't be contained when we leave the game. My name will remain. We don't need the fame. You can keep this chain. We broke free so things won't be the same. Nah, on the mission, gotta get it, let's work. You were raised on the net, I'm raising my net worth. But it ain't about the money, nah, it ain't about the cause. All that matters is the world knows who we are. Stars. If you want it, you can get it. Life gets hard, but don't you let it get you down. Go get
Welcome back to LCS Proving Grounds. We truly do have a back and forth series thus far in the grand finals, as Noorg have now pulled ahead in game #3, and they've definitely set a trend of their wins being on the shorter end of the timetable for these games. But Rafa, I know that both you and Emily were talking going into the series about game 3 being where you often see that change happen for the teams. What did you make of how we kicked things off here for game #3?
I mean, we're going to have to take a look at the draft because this is probably the cleanest game that we have seen from No Org against Cloud9 Academy and across all the track record between today's series and Thursday's series. And a lot of it has to come from Big here, the Tigers, because this guy, we know that looking at the draft phase, we saw that there's an opportunity to go back with the Udyr, to go back with the Alistar because it was working well for them in game 1. But they said, no. We want to take the Hecarim. We want to take the Rel here. And Big just coming up huge because a lot of the times, there's a lot of these fights that Cloud9 Academy are forcing onto Fire or Viper or anywhere else onto Anda in the jungle. And Big is able to just force beautiful counter engages thanks to this Magnastorm, thanks to the power of Rel. And it goes to show not only why this pick was so prioritized for the side of No Org, but also, as you know, because Fire loves to play Sylas as well as Viper as well, the Sylas counter pick is an option that they were preparing for, and having access to pull an Alistar damage reduction ultimate is super valuable in these fights.
Yeah, I mean, we see a really good situation for Sylas. We see them heavily prioritize Rel to the point where they pointed it out in cast, right? Where it's like, okay, they're really heavily prioritizing this. Another thing that I liked is that they heavily relied on Viper's, Jace to blind pick it. And this is something that we've seen him blind before. It's kind of something that they know that he is comfortable with and can go into a lot of matchups with. And with the Malphite, Gragas and Sion all banned, they kind of called out C9 and they're like, okay, Darshan, like what do you got for us, right? Because we have this blind Jace, and we saw him respond really well, I think, to topside pressure. Like, obviously there was that topside gank where he almost got a trade kill and then ended up matching TP. When the lane got set towards Camille's turret, he actually just roamed mid and helped to reset mid lane after they had ganked Fire in mid. So I thought, like, Viper had a really, really stellar game on this Jace. It's exactly what we've been talking about with this whole kind of like Viper narrative, talking about his flexibility, talking about the team playing around him. And here we saw again to what Rafa said in the very beginning in the kind of countdown analyst segment, is that, he can also pivot, right? So like they attack him topside, he pivots, he helps reset mid, he ends up still becoming this absolute, you saw the damage numbers there, this absolute monster.
Jeez.
And I also thought the Serpent's Fang was really smart too, because again, you have the Shield Reaver, you're going up against Orianna, you're going into this composition with multiple shield options, and guess what? Like, not only do you have Sylas stealing ultimates, but then you have Serpent's Fang Jace coming after you too. So it was just really, really smart play from Viper. I really loved how they snowballed this game. It was just like very, very clean from No Org and incredibly impressive.
Yeah, we saw Viper two-shot freaking King in the siege point. He shot an accelerated shock blast and dropped half of his HP off of that build. And so at that point, when you're able to ready up that siege and you're able to enable Viper in compositions like this, then it's super easy for the rest of No Org to just play like they're not the focus of the team. And we get a chance to go and credit back Value, who on the Xayah is playing a very defensive, safe AD carry. Didn't go for the Kaisa because they prioritized the Hecarim so that they would have stronger engages and counter engages with that onslaught of shadows. And it paid off, because anytime that Xayah was being focused down, you have an ability to reposition in the fight with that Featherstorm, and it gives Value the safety, and he's still putting in damage. So overall, No Org as a unit played very well into Cloud9 Academy in this game 3, and now the Tigers, we're at match point 2-1.
Woo! I know your No Org prediction is looking really good. One thing I also wanted to credit No Org for is just knowing how to snowball their team really well. Like, I noticed, Drakes became a huge problem in the previous game, right? So what happens in this game? Well, C9 still get those first like 2 Drakes, but then No Org, once they are in the snowball, once they are in a position where they're pushing everything forward, like they have forward forward proximity, they go into bot side river, they go into bot side jungle, and they ward up. They push out their mid wave. They focus on getting those next 2 Drakes while they're ahead to make sure that it's not a comeback option for C9. Again, like it's rudimentary. It's not difficult to understand, but it's something that I know like sometimes LCS teams don't do. So I really want to call out NoOrg for having such a smart and like well-coordinated snowball here.
Yeah, and we have seen this not just in this game, but other ones when NoOrg have that early advantage and they manage to close it out, they get the W. But Cloud9 Academy are going to be looking for that opportunity to bring themselves in it. They'll be going back to blue side for game number 4. And all the Cloud9 Academy fans know out there that you shouldn't count them out just yet. NoOrg will need the energy of everybody that wants to see them clinch this victory for the overall championship. As per usual, though, we are going to have game 4 on the other side after NoOrg came up big in game number 3. We're going to be here. You're going to be there. We'll see you there.